Have you ever felt like you're just floating, not really going anywhere, not really stuck, just there? It's weird, right? Like you're in between chapters of a book, but you're not sure if the next page is even written yet. And the strangest part, sometimes it doesn't even feel bad. It's not like you're in crisis, not necessarily spiraling, just kind of existing in this fog where everything feels a little out of reach, a little untethered. Days blur together, nights feel heavier, and you start questioning if this is just how things are now. It's easy to assume you're the only one feeling this, but I promise you're not. We tend to think of feeling lost as a bad thing, like if you don't have a clear direction, you've somehow failed. But what if being lost is actually good? What if it means you're in between something important? What if this is the space where things start shifting in a way you can't even see yet? There's this weird expectation that we should always know where we're going. Like life is some kind of GPS route. If you take a wrong turn, you're screwed. But real life, it's more like wandering through a city you've never been to before. You turn down streets because they look interesting. You double back when something feels off. And sometimes you just stop and sit for a while because you're tired. That's okay. That's how you actually see things. That's how you figure out where you even want to go. But it doesn't feel like that in the moment. It feels like stalling out. Like you should be doing something, but you don't even know what. And that feeling, it's frustrating as hell, but also it's kind of necessary because without these moments of uncertainty, without these stretches of time where you have no clue what's next, you wouldn't have the space to figure it out. Clarity doesn't come when you force it. It comes in the pauses, in the drifting, in the moments where you think nothing is happening. Think about all the times in your life when something changed. When you look back, it probably makes sense now, right? Like, oh, that had to happen for this to happen. But when you were in it, it just felt messy and confusing. This is probably one of those moments. You just don't have the hindsight yet. Maybe you've felt this before, like you're working a job you don't even like, but it feels easier to stay than to leave. Or you're surrounded by people, but you don't feel like you really connect with anybody. Or maybe you've just hit a point where nothing excites you anymore, even the things you used to love. It's easy to think that means something's wrong with you, but sometimes it's just a sign that you're outgrowing something, even if you're not sure what you're growing into yet. And honestly, I've been feeling this myself lately. I still have a few friends from college who hit me up every once in a while, asking me to go to some frat party or hang out at a bar. And I go sometimes, but I always find myself standing there, looking around, wondering why I'm the only one not enjoying it. Everyone else seems to be having the time of their life, and I'm just there. Like, I'm going through the motions of something I'm supposed to enjoy, but I don't. It's not that I hate being there. I just feel disconnected from it now. Like I've outgrown it without really meaning to. And for a while, I kept wondering what was wrong with me. But now, I think maybe it's just part of moving forward, even when you don't know exactly what you're moving toward. The thing about being lost is that it's only temporary. No one stays lost forever, even if it feels like you've been here for a long time, even if you're convinced you'll never figure it out. Something will shift. It always does. You meet someone who says something at the right time, or you stumble across a book, a video, a random conversation that makes something click. Or maybe you just wake up one day and, for no reason at all, feel a little lighter, a little more ready. You don't always need a grand revelation. Sometimes all you need is time. And I know that's not always the most satisfying answer. We want answers now. We want to know what to do, how to fix it, how to move forward. But maybe there's nothing to fix. Maybe it's just a part of it. Maybe the uncertainty is a sign that something new is coming. And all you have to do is sit with it for a little longer. And honestly, I'm right there with you. I don't have it figured out either. I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, like I'm in between things, stuck in this space where nothing feels certain. But even though I don't know what's next, I'm starting to realize that's okay, because the in between, that's where all the important stuff happens. That's where you figure things out, where you start noticing what actually matters. And if you let yourself sit with that uncertainty instead of rushing through it, you might find that it's not so bad. The journey isn't just part of the process, it's kind of the whole point. So if you're feeling lost right now, good. It means something is shifting. It means you're in the middle of something important, even if you can't see it yet. And when you finally do see it, you'll realize you weren't lost at all. You were just on your way.